I'd like to tell you a true story. A true story. Who wants to be a 9-to-5 guy stuck in some office watching time crawl up and down the wall like a blue bottle? Not me, oh no, for I consider myself more a left-handed dyslexic Aquarian 21st century new age renaissance bloke with my repetitively stressed index finger poised over the stop, rewind, play, pause of the modern milieu as I bestride the smorgasbord of pre-postmodern culture in an uber zeitgeist kind of way. Rather like a white male Beyoncé Knowles standing over you, thrusting his sweating, palpitating box right in your fucking face. Short answer, long-term unemployed. That's right, I sign on for a living. And what do guys do when they have a lot of time on their hands, eh? Hey, they spend their time musing in idle contemplation, don't they? Smelling the flowers and sniffing the trees and gambolling from hillock to bough. Love is like a butterfly, a stinking rancid butterfly. The other day I was gently caressing my pubic mound when I noticed nestling there amongst the hair a tiny scab. And on closer inspection, the scab scuttled and scurried and moved around. It was no scab, but it was indeed a pubic louse. And how, pray, did I come to be afflicted with these ball-eating, blood-sucking little bastards? Why? I had committed the ultimate act of treachery. I did, in fact, shag my best friend's girlfriend. I was having one of my dystopian nightmare parties. I would liken it to a Greek tragedy with cheap lager. The gang were gathered. The CD Felch game. I used to fucking love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's CD Felch match is about to begin. Gentlemen, adopt the position. Remember, moist farting is regarded as an illegal move.
His arse is flapping about like a Wellington boot top.
That's not an arse, it's a machine of rectal war.
Thanks for coming. I didn't think you'd make it.
That's okay. Can't stay for long though.
But surely you can stay for a couple of drinks.
Well, I'll stay for one.
He's got an arse like Yul Brynner's head. Last time I saw a move like that, I was watching Moby Dick. Each cheek on these fuckers weighs in excess of 48 pounds.
Who are all these people?
See him over there with the big mouth? Well, that's Titty Man Boiled Egg, that is.
Why do you call him Titty Man?
Because he's got a great big pendulous pair of women's breasts on him. Look at him. In his younger days, he used to let us boys play with them. We even went so far as to buy him an Anaconda sports bra. We would practice undoing the clasp. Invaluable for us teenagers. And over there, that's Skinny Ellen, that is. She's called Skinny Ellen because she doesn't menstruate and her hair falls out in clumps. She's dirty dancing. Well, we call it dirty dancing because if you look up close, you realise she has in fact shit herself.
Steady!
And over there, that's my best mate, Skinny Ellen's boyfriend, Jinko, that is.
Can I sit here?
If you want. Oh, beware though. Might have pissed myself.
What are you making?
Perfume punch. 110% proof alcoholic perfume punch for all the punters in the room.
Separate! Cocks have no place in CD felching.
It's dangerous drinking all these chemicals.
No way, man. You want to see the shit they pump into the food we eat? Do you know, I was reading the other day that scientists, right, are breeding oven-shaped cattle and chickens that fit perfectly in your oven. Fuck! Like that. With tiny little marble-sized heads.
Come on, how's about it? How's about letting me bury a body in your flannel garage?
Don't be frightened of it. Get it on your neck. The Paco Rabanne punch really kicked in. One minute I was dry humping next to Skinny Ellen, and the next thing I was hallucinating that I was walking down the Champs-Elysees with Jan Leeming on one arm and Jenny Bond on the other. And the next thing you know, I'd phase shift into an alternate reality, and I'd fallen into a muddy ditch, and I could not climb out. I had metal spikes instead of arms, and I was slicing and slicing through this thick milotic mud. And the next thing, a dirty, lead-poisoned, club-footed pigeon landed on my shoulder and started pecking at my eye with its awful deformed beak. And I'd wake up like that and come to, and I'd fallen asleep in flagrante delicto on top of Skinny Helen, and she was stubbing a Super King cigarette out into my eye to wake me up. You should have seen us rock and rolling on the couch, me and Skinny, going at it like a paraplegic beast with two backs. I crashed out unconscious on the couch, woke up with a start the next morning, my head throbbing, my buttocks throbbing. I was stuck to the couch with a mixture of blood, vomit and seminal fluid. I slowly peeled myself off a pillowcase and left a layer of chest hair stuck to the pillow. Looking around for Skinny Helen, no sign of her. She'd obviously done a runner, but not before. She jammed a prosthetic arm from a shop dummy right up my anal aperture. I looked to my front. It was teeming with pubic lice I'd contracted from Skinny Helen. And then I remembered Jinko, Skinny Helen's boyfriend, my best mate. I've got to confess all and tell Jinko that I shagged his missus. There's Jinko lying next to me on the couch, himself unconscious. I leant over and gently tapped him on the shoulder. Jinko, wake up, Jinko. I touched him. He was cold, and Jinko slowly keeled over onto his face. He died, OD'd on the Marvelon birth control tablets he'd been jacking up into his arm. He was dead, lying there. I shot up, stood up in the room, looked at the devastation that surrounded me, and thought, Jesus Christ, can things get any worse? And that's when the story gets really interesting.